everyone, welcome to this update video. I hope you're doing awesome this morning. So we still have our category 5 hurricane BERYL out there. BERYL is a monster. It's been emphasized by myself and many other channels as well, just how incredible this is to see this time of year when the hurricane season has barely begun. This is not when we'd be looking for Cat.5s. And so BERYL is the first Cat.5 to develop so early ever in the North Atlantic basin, so it has broken so many records. Now this hurricane is barreling through the eastern Caribbean. We can see that there is some activity from it. The outer bands definitely bringing some decent rainfall and thunderstorms to parts of the Dominican Republic as well as Puerto Rico, and it is going to continue making its way generally to the west, northwest, or northwest. Now Jamaica, it is going to be coming. It's likely to make landfall tomorrow morning as a category 4 hurricane over the island. So the cone has shifted even closer. Let's go on to that right now. We can see here that the cone has shifted even closer to the island, and it is sustaining winds of 160 miles per hour. So again, Cat.5 intensity. And there is a hurricane watch for southern Haiti as well, and the tropical storm warning remains in effect for the southwestern part of the Dominican Republic, the southern coast of Haiti, and even for the Cayman Islands. So because of the kind of a shift in the track further to the north, the Cayman Islands would be more at risk of those hurricane impacts as we head into Thursday. Now BERYL is going to be approaching Jamaica as we head into tomorrow morning. The eastern parishes especially will be the first to feel those impacts coming on, noticing the sea getting a lot more unsettled, and eventually the waves getting pretty rough out there, and the inundation, the flooding of the coast because of the winds of BERYL pushing the Caribbean seawater on shore. So that's going to be happening, and there's also going to be a lot of heavy rain. So many places, especially those that are very vulnerable, will be flooded tomorrow. In addition to that, a Cat.4 landfall, even with winds of 140 miles per hour. We saw what that did to Curacao in the Grenadines near Grenada. So that's one of the islands that was devastated yesterday by BERYL. We could see a similar story in Jamaica with many downed trees, many buildings being damaged, because even sturdy structures are at risk of some level of damage because we're talking about those very strong winds. And now the cone is showing that BERYL is going to make landfall. Now, the last major hurricane to make landfall in Jamaica was Gilbert of 1988. It wasn't Ivan. Ivan struck in 2004, and the eye of it passed just south of the island. So it didn't move on shore. So that is what landfall is, when the eye moves on to the center of the system, the eye moves on shore. So that didn't happen with Ivan. However, it was close enough to induce those very deadly impacts back in 2004 as a Cat.4 hurricane. So BERYL is, here is BERYL almost 20 years later, and we can see that it is not looking like something that's just going to be, a little wind, a little rain. No, it's going to be catastrophic. It is going to be life-threatening. So let's look at the key messages here from the National Hurricane Center. So BERYL is forecast to remain a powerful hurricane as it moves across the Caribbean Sea later this week. A hurricane warning is in effect for Jamaica, where hurricane conditions are expected on Wednesday. A tropical storm warning is also in effect for the south coast of Hispaniola, and a hurricane watch is in effect for all of the Cayman Islands and the southwestern peninsula of Haiti. Heavy rainfall and flash flooding are likely over much of Jamaica and southern Hispaniola through late Wednesday. Interests in Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, Cuba, and the southwestern Gulf of Mexico should monitor the progress of BERYL. Additional watches and warnings will likely be required later today or Wednesday. So the areas down the road that will be affected by BERYL would include parts of Central America, as you can see here, and it should maintain its hurricane intensity as we head throughout the week. So this is just a very unprecedented scenario. I've said that so many times in my videos because, it's just it's wild to see something like this in the month of June. But once BERYL is going to be continuing its journey through the Caribbean, it will be encountering more and more unfavorable conditions. And in addition, if it does make landfall in Jamaica, the mountainous terrain of the island will disrupt the circulation and help it to weaken even more, and then allow some more unfavorable conditions to affect the storm, which will cause it to gradually weaken. Then if it makes its way over the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, it'll weaken even more. So once storms move over land, they're cut off from their source of fuel and energy, and thus they weaken. So it should downgrade to a tropical storm in the Gulf. But there's a lot of uncertainty. Notice how the cone widens from this point onwards. It gets a lot wider, so that shows a greater range of different tracks of BERYL, so the center can pass anywhere within the cone. Again, the cone is shifting even closer to Jamaica, and a major hurricane landfall is likely as we head into tomorrow. So we should all be preparing. Today's the final day to get things in place. And again, these are some of the things that ODPEM has put out there, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. These are just a couple things to do, to ensure that you are best prepared for BERYL. Here we have it. Non-perishable food items. Many persons are out. They're already stocking up today. Next, to secure important documents, medical supplies including medication, battery-powered radio and extra batteries, pre-packed emergency bag, directions to the nearest shelter, safety gear such as water boots and raincoats, and to ensure windows are protected, to batten down and all, and also to have emergency items including flashlights, because it's likely that there will be power outages right across the island. There's likely to be power outages. So, it's going to be that time when you should charge all your devices if you have a power bank, so that, in the case where your phone runs really low, there's still no power, you can use that to charge it up even a little bit, just to make sure that you can have access to what is happening, to even listen to the radio through your phone. So, but it's good to have a tangible radio still, a radio itself, regardless. So again, BERYL is a very life-threatening situation which is going to unfold for Jamaica tomorrow, a historic hurricane, and it will be the first to make landfall in Jamaica since Gilbert of 1988, landfall of a major hurricane, that is. So the last major hurricane was Gilbert. It made landfall as a Cat.3, and here is BERYL likely to make landfall as a Cat.4. So it is currently sustaining those Cat.5 winds of 160 miles per hour. And I'm not even so fixated on the weakening to say, this is going to weaken. I mean, it is going to weaken, and it is some good news, but it's not going to weaken substantially to minimize those impacts. They're still going to be life-threatening as we head into tomorrow, guys. So I just hope that everyone is preparing. I myself here in Jamaica, I am, finalizing preparations here on my end. I'm getting all ready to ride out the storm. But, we just have to, help each other, be our brother's keeper, and just hope that this all goes well. Hope that everyone makes it out, because even if we do, even if we do lose some things or something is damaged, it can always be replaced, because once there's life, there is hope. But if there are casualties, that is kind of the worst part of any landfall in tropical cyclone. The good news, though, after BERYL and, that other disturbance out there, which thankfully may not develop since, the chance has been decreasing, since conditions may become unfavorable for it. So it may just move by as a regular tropical wave and enhance the rain. But after that, we may see a brief lull in activity, maybe for 2 weeks or so, before things start to ramp up again. And we know that once that starts happening, it is going to be, it's going to get pretty active. So it's a long hurricane season ahead, and a historic one. Many of us were talking about it. You saw the forecast. You may have seen the forecasts from different organizations expecting a hyperactive season, expecting that the season will be historic. Here we are with the second name on the list for the season, the second named storm that is about to make history and is already making history. So I'll continue to keep you guys posted as necessary, and that is it for right now. Stay tuned for another update, either late this evening or very early tomorrow morning. I'm sure I'll be up right throughout and, keeping you guys posted. So that's it for right now, though. Please ensure you finalize those preps for today, because tomorrow it's going to get pretty ugly across Jamaica. So I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day, preparing and all. But if you have any questions in regards to BERYL, please leave them in the comments. I'll get to you once I can. I know I have a backlog of comments to respond to for my other video. I'm going to do that as soon as I can as well. But please do stay safe, and remember to always be weatherwise.